So guys, in Fusion page we have a effect called paint effect. It's very easy and useful. So I have this video right here, and first I'm going to turn off the effect and turn this to single screen, and now search for paint effect. Now add this paint PNT. Now as you can see, I have this effect and we have these tools appear right here, and in inspector you can see we have the property of this paint effect. Now on the previous screen you can see we have this brush tool. If you want to increase the size of this brush, you can use this slider, or you can press Ctrl and left click on your previous screen, and you can drag this to the right side to increase the size, or to the left side to decrease the size of your brush. You can even slide your mouse cursor upward or downward to increase the size of the brush as well. Now if you want to increase or decrease the softness of the brush, you can use this slider. If you want to change the shape of the brush, you can select your brush from here. Now guys, as you can see, we have different mode in this paint tool, and you can select these mode from here. So I'm going to select this multi-stroke, and this will work frame by frame. So if you want to draw frame by frame animation, then you can use this brush. So I'm going to decrease the size, and I'm going to draw on this wheel. I'm just drawing a rough stroke around this wheel. Now if I play this video, you can see we have this stroke animation. Now if you want to add a glow on this stroke animation, then you can also do that. So I'm going to add this background node. Let's just disconnect this node, and I'm going to connect this background node to this paint tool. And now I'm going to add a glow effect, and then connect this paint tool to the glow effect, and then I'm going to add a merge node and connect this merge node between the main nodes, and now connect the glow to the merge node, and now select the merge node, and in apply mode you can change this to screen, and now we have this glow animation. Now you can customize your glow like this. And if I go to the edit, in first timeline I have created this effect. So in this way you can add a glow on this stroke. So I'm going to delete these nodes for now, and I'm going to reset my paint tool. And the next mode is, guys, the clone multi-stroke. So I'm going to go to the edit and add a timeline, and I'm going to drag this page right here. And now if we go to the Fusion page, let's add paint tool, and now I'm going to select this clone stroke. And now what it does, guys, it works frame by frame. So if I zoom in, increase the size and select this area. If you want to select an area, you have to press Alt and then click. Now it select this area. As you can see, the crow is now locked in, and now if I draw here, you can see it now clone this area and put this area on this side. And now if I press right key on the keyboard, right arrow key, you can see the clone disappear. So if you want a permanent clone, then you can use these shapes. So we have three shape, we have the poly shape, we have the ellipse, and we have the rectangle shape. So I'm going to select this poly shape, and I'm going to first reset the paint tool, and I'm going to select this poly shape, and I'm going to now I'm going to select this area, and now what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to change the center and place this right here, and I'm going to increase the softness as well. Now if I play this video, you can see we have this permanent clone on the video. So guys, you can use this shape if you want to add effect like this. Now I'm going to reset my effect, and now guys, we have this stroke, and I'm going to go to the edit and add another timeline, and I'm going to drag this footage right here, and let's select this part of the video, and now go to the fusion page. Now to explain this stroke brush, I'm going to add a planar tracker, and I'm going to drag this part of the subject face. Now let's press this drag forward, now if your tracker take longer than the usual, then you can press frame by frame manually. Now as you can see, we have this tracking data. Now the next step is to change the tracker to hybrid and change the motion type to a fin. Now I'm going to create planar transform, and now let's delete this planar tracker. Now we have the transform of this tracker. Now guys, the next step is to add a paint tool, and the next brush is the stroke brush. So I'm going to select the stroke, and I'm going to let's just draw this. Now guys, if you notice, the stroke will stay on your screen forever, but this stroke is work on frame by frame, but this stroke work on the whole video. So as you can see, I draw this drawing and it stay on the whole video. So now guys, my next step is to disconnect this paint tool, add a background, connect this to paint, add a glow effect. Now add a merge node, connect this to the main node, and I'm going to connect the glow to the planar transform, and now connect this to merge node. Now if I play this video, you can see we have this effect. To fix this, you have to select the merge node and change the mode to screen. Now to fix this problem, you have to add a transform node, right here, and now I'm going to select this and change this right about here. Now if I play this video, you can see the stroke is now stay on the screen. Now let me just reset this, select the stroke, and I'm going to change the color of the stroke, and let's Now if we play this video, you can see we have this effect. So guys, this is how you can use this stroke mode in the paint tool. Now let's go back to the main timeline. Now guys, the next is the polyline. So I'm going to select this and I'm going to draw this. Now if we play this video, you can see it stay on the screen, and now you can go to the stroke and you can animate the stroke line if you want to. So just add a keyframe, go few frames ahead, and then you can animate this like this. Now if I go back, play the video, you can see we have this stroke. So you can use this stroke like this. Now let's restart the paint tool, select the paint tool. So I'm going to select this. You can draw a shape and I'm going to just cut out this part of the video and place this right here. Now guys, as you can see, we have 1, 2 and 3 shape on the screen. Now if you want to move this individually, then you can move these shapes. We have the 4 one as well, but if you want to move these shapes together, then you have to group these shapes. So I'm going to select these shapes and now I'm going to click on this paint group, and now as you can see we can move these shapes together. So this is how you can use these shapes. Now reset this paint tool and now select the paint tool. Now in the inspector, if the setting of the paint disappear, then you have to delete this and you have to add the paint tool again. Now guys, if you add a stroke for example, and if you want to erase the stroke, then you can use this eraser mode and now you can erase this stroke as well. So guys, this is how you can use this paint tool in the Fusion page. Now guys, I'm going to drag this text plus in edit page timeline and let's go to the Fusion page. And if you select your text and go to the layout, you can see we have this type. You can change the type. For example, if I change this to path, I can now create a path like this and the text will follow if I animate. So if you animate the position of the path, you can see we can animate the text in this way. So I'm going to just add a keyframe. Let's go to this frame and let's increase the position on the path. Now if I play this video, you can see we have this animation. Now you can go to the settings and add a motion blur and you can decrease the shutter angle. And now if I play this video, you can see we have this animation, and you can even draw more if you want to. So I can now draw like this path, and let's go to the keyframe and you can or to this spline, select all the keyframe, click here, shape box, and you can increase the box if you want to make the longer duration of the animation. And now if I go to the edit page, you can see we have this animation. Now in the Fusion page, you can also add a glow. And now if we go to the edit page, you can see we have this effect. You can increase the glow size, increase the glow, and now we have this text effect. Now let's loop this, and now we have this text effect. You can change the name or even change the color if you want to. Now guys, I'm going to drag this logo right here and let's go to the Fusion page, and I'm going to add a text plus right here. Now select the text, go to the layout and change the type to path. Now I'm going to draw a path, and you can add this type of animation that I am about to show you. Now I trace all the logo. Now let's add a text. So first I'm going to just add these lines. Let's copy and paste these lines. Now if we go to the layout and add a keyframe, and let's go to this frame and change the path, you can see we have this animation. So you can add these type of animation, and you can even loop this animation if you want to. So if I go to this spline, select the text, select this position, and let's loop this, and now we have this type of effect. Now if we go to the settings, and we can even add a motion blur if we want to. Let's change the shutter, and let's add a glow. Now let's change the color of the text, and there we go. Now we have this type of animation. So you can, using the text layout, you can make these type of animation. Now let's delete this and go back to the main text, and now let's go to the Fusion page, and I'm going to reset the text. Let's disconnect the glow and place this right here. Now I'm going to type, let's reset this. Now let's type question mark, and now let's go to the layout, and I'm going to this time change the type to circle, and I'm going to decrease the size, decrease the width right about here, and let's type more question mark to fill the circle. Now if we go to the transform, and in the transform, in the rotation, you can make these type of animation. So if I add a keyframe and add this animation, and now if I play this video, you can see we have this type of animation. Let's increase the duration of the animation. Now if I add the glow and go to the edit page, you can see we have this animation. Let's change the color as well. Now if we type different symbol, then you can have different type of animation effect like this. And if I type this, you can see we have this type of animation. Now I'm going to reset this. Now guys, if we go to timeline number 1, you can see I have created this animation. So if I select my text and type question marks, and if I play this video, you can see we have this type of animation. If you want to get this type of animation, then you have to go to the Fusion page, select your text, and then you have to go to the transform, change the X rotation to this value, Y rotation to this value, and then you have to just animate the Z rotation, and then you will get this type of animation. So using guys the layout and the transform, you can create these type of animation. Now guys, if you want to add a simple highlight animation, then you can also do that. To go to the generators and add this paper right here. And now let's go to the titles and add this text plus. Now I'm going to change the text and change the font to this, and let's duplicate this text. Now let's change the color of the upper layer text, and let's go to the shading and go to number 4, check this and change the level to word and change the color to this value. Now I'm going to increase the size of the text, and let's copy the value and go to the above text layer, go to this text and let's paste the size. Now we have this text. Now guys, to animate the highlight text, you have to switch to crop, and then you have to drag this right here. Now let's go to the settings, go to the cropping and add a keyframe right here, and let's go few frame ahead, and I'm going to increase this crop right about here. Now let's go to the keyframe and place this keyframe right here. Now we have this type of highlight text. Now you can even smooth this animation if you want to. So I'm going to select these text. Now we have this highlight text. Now you can also animate this generator. So select the generators, go to the generator settings, and I'm going to decrease the grain, increase the lift, decrease the gamma, increase the contrast, decrease the brightness just a little bit, and I'm going to animate this texture. So you have to click here and it will take you to the fusion, and now you have to select the paper generator, and this time I'm going to add a keyframe, go few frame ahead and animate the texture. Now increase the gain, decrease the lift, decrease the gamma, increase the contrast, and let's decrease the brightness just a little bit. Now to animate this paper, you have to go to this spline, click here, and now you have to change this to step out or step in. Now we have this type of animation. Now I'm going to select this keyframe and I'm going to decrease their duration. Now let's click here again and let's loop this animation. Now if we go to the edit page, you can see we have this type of highlight text animation. So you can also create these types of text highlight animation. So guys, this is how you can use this text plus in different way and create different text animation in DaVinci Resolve. So guys, if you don't like to animate anything in DaVinci Resolve, then you can use plugin. So if I open the effects, you can see I have this master Alex text, and if I click here, you can see I have this magic animate v2. So if you Google master Alex magic animate v2 and scroll down, you have to open this website to download this free plugin. Now to get this, you have to type 0 and you have to click on get now, and it will download the free plugin. So now guys, all you have to do is just type an email address and then you have to type a nickname. Now click on this checkout now. Now if you click on view content and you have to click on this download, and now it is now download the plugin. Now guys, to install the plugin, you have to double click on this file and now click on this install, and it will install your plugin. Now I'm going to select text plus right here, and now if you open the effects, you have to select master Alex tag and you have to drag this and drop this right here. Now if you go to the effects, you can see I have this fusion and I have this magic animate too. So how you can use this effect, if you scroll down you can see I have these control. So if I open wipe control and if I check on this in, you can see I have now the in animation on this custom title, and if I check on this out, you can see now I have the out animation. And if you want to customize this animation, you can use this slider. So for example, I can change the angle, so I'm going to come to this keyframe and now I can change the angle of this wipe in control, and now it wipe from the below. As you can see, it is the wipe in angle, and if you want to animate the wipe out, you have to change this angle. Right about here. Now if I play this video, you can see I have this in wipe and I have this wipe out. You can also customize your curve. Now if you want to add some more changes to this tag, then you can also do that. So for example, if I want to add some motion blur, then I can do that. So I have to come to this point and now I'm going to increase the motion blur and I'm going to decrease the shutter angle right about here. Now if I play this video, you can see I have now this wipe in animation and I have now the wipe out animation with motion blur. Now guys, we have some other controls as well. So you can, for example, I'm going to add some zoom in animation, and now you can see I have now this zoom in animation, and if I click on this checkout, you can see I have now the zoom out animation. Now you can also animate your media. So I'm going to just drag this background right here and I'm going to drag these elements and I'm going to drag myself right here. Now what I'm going to do guys is I'm going to drag this on myself and I'm going to drag this on these elements. Now I'm going to go to the effects and now let's check the in wipe in. Now if I play my video, you can see now we have this effect. So I'm going to just decrease the playback and now you can see I have this animation, and now let's animate this as well. So I'm going to just check in the zoom effect and now you can see we have the zoom effect, we have this animation. So you can also apply this animation to the media as well. Now I'm going to add some motion blur and let's decrease the shutter angle. Now select the above layer, add motion blur, decrease the shutter angle right about here. Now you can also change this in and out speed. So I'm going to select the element and I'm going to decrease the speed. Now you can also change the angle, you can also zoom in yourself, zoom the media, or you can also change the position. Now I'm going to select myself and I'm going to increase the speed right about here. Now you can see we have this animation. Now guys, I'm going to add an out animation, so let's add the out and change the angle as well. So now I'm going to render this video and I'm going to show you the result. So now guys, we have the result. So this is the render video of the Magic Animate V2. Now guys, you can create interesting effects using the emitter node in Fusion page. So I'm going to drag this picture right here. So let's go to the Fusion page and I'm going to add text plus and I'm going to type my name in text plus. Now I'm going to drag this emitter node and I'm going to drag this render node as well. Now let's connect these two, and now you have to connect this text plus to the emitter node. And if it does not connect, then you have to select the emitter node, go to the style and change the style to bitmap. Now you can see we have this input, and now I can connect the text plus to the emitter node. Now guys, if I play this video, you can see we don't have anything. So you have to add a merge node. Let's connect this merge node and let's connect the render to the merge node. Now you can see we have these text emitters. Now you have to select the emitter, go to the controls and decrease the number. I'm going to decrease to 0.5. And now if I play this video, you can see we have these text particle. Now I'm going to also add a velocity as well. So I'm going to increase this velocity and I'm going to increase the velocity variance as well. Now if we play this video, you can see we have this effect. Let's decrease this velocity. And let's change the angle as well. Now guys, if I play this video, you can see we have these text particle. Now guys, what you need to do is just go to the style to improve the effect of the text emitter. Go to the color control and change the color. So I'm going to change the color to this color value. Now you can see we have the size control as well. So first I'm going to increase the size of the text and I'm going to increase the size variance. So it will randomly size increase and decrease the size of the text emitter. And now guys, if you see we have the size over life graph as well. So I'm going to just draw a graph and then I'm going to explain to you this graph, what it does to your text emitter. Now guys, if I play this video, you can see the text in this emitter starting from a smaller size and then they eventually become the larger size. So this graph affect these emitter size. So it start from the smaller size and then it will increase the size of this text emitter. So this is how this graph works. Now if you want to decrease the size, then you can also do that. Now I'm going to open the fade control and I'm going to fade in the text and fade out the text as well. So the text start from the fade in and end up with fade out. Now if I play this video, you can see we have this text emitter. Now let's open the blur control and let's increase the blur variance. And now you can see we have a little bit blur text in the text emitter. Now if I play this video, you can see we have this effect. Now let's go to the control and let's increase the number variance. Now I'm going to change the lifespan to 50. So now we have this text effect. So you can easily create these type of effect using the emitter, and you can also customize your animation as well using these angles. So if I change the angle, you can see now we have this animation. If I change this angle, you can see we now have this type of animation. Now we have the wider range of this text emitter as well. You can also increase the blur, but it will take longer to render. So I'm going to add a graph of this blur as well, and I'm going to change this to 0.040. Now if I play this video, you can see now guys we have this type of animation. You can also change this blur as well, so I'm going to change this to 0.03, and now you can see we have this blur. Let's change this to 0.01. Now let's play this video. Now we have this text effect. Now if you want to add a glow, then you can also do that. So I'm going to search for glow, and now let's add the glow right here, and now you can see we have the glow on the text as well. So you can also increase the size of the glow and increase the glow if you want to. Now if I play this video, you can see we have this interesting text emitter effect. Now let's render the video, and then I will show you the result. So now guys, this is the rendered result of this text emitter. Now you can see we have the glow, we have the blur, and we have the amazing text representation of the emitter as well. So this is how you can create this effective text emitter as well. Now guys, if you want to effect a part of your video using the emitter, then you can also do that. So I have another example, so I'm going to create a timeline. So now guys, I'm going to drag this background right here, and now let's drag this PNG tree right above this layer. Now let's go to the fusion page, and now I'm going to drag this emitter node, and now drag this render node right here. Now let's connect the emitter to the render, and now select your emitter node, go to the style and change the style to bitmap, go to the region and change the region to bitmap. And now as soon as I select the bitmap, you can see we have this additional input. So now I'm going to connect this, press Alt, let go to the region bitmap, and now I'm going to select these leaves, drag them right here, and now press 1 on the keyboard. You can see we have this PNG leaves, and now I'm going to connect this to the emitter. Now let's add a merge node. Let's connect this merge node to the main nodes, and let's connect the render to the merge node. Now if I set this to single screen, play the video, you can see the emitter is now only affecting the tree, because we set the region of this emitter and give the tree that region. So now what we need to do is just affecting the branches of the tree. So to affecting only the branches, you have to drag this mat control, press shift and drop them in between the media one and the emitter node of the region. Now you have to place them right here. Now I'm going to select this polygon, and I'm going to select only this part of the tree, so that the leaves won't affect this part of the tree. So now if I connect this, press Alt, select the garbage mat, you can see the leaf is now affecting only the branches. So now if I play my video, you can see the leaves is now affecting only the branches. So now your final step is to select the emitter, go to the controls, set this to 2 and set this to 200. Now let's go to the style, go to the color, and I'm going to match the color of the leaves with the tree. This is fine. Now let's go to the size, and I'm going to draw a graph like this. Let's play this right here. Now if I play this video, you can see we have this animation. Now I'm going to also increase the size, go to the fade, add a fade in and add a fade out, just a little bit. Now if we play this video, you can see we have this animation. Let's decrease the fade in. Now let's increase the time scale to 1.3. . Now let's go to the style, and in the size I'm going to increase the size variance, so it will randomly make them bigger or smaller. So now we have this effect. So guys, this is how you can use this emitter in different way and create different animation style. So now guys, I'm going to show you how you can use a merge node in different way and create amazing animation. So I'm going to drag this picture and drop this in between the main node, and now let's place this right here. Now guys, I'm going to drag this polygon mask and let's connect this mask to the media 2. Now I'm going to mask out the DaVinci Resolve logo. And now let's select the merge node, go to the settings, and I'm going to add motion blur as well. And now let's animate this DaVinci Resolve logo. So now I'm going to add a keyframe of the center. Let's go a few frames ahead, and now let's animate this like this. So now if I play this video, you can see guys, we have this animation, but it's a little bit slower, but don't worry, we will fix this. So now I'm going to select these three nodes and make them in a group, put them in a group. Now you can see we have this group, and now I'm going to copy this group, and now I'm going to paste this group right here. Now let's connect this group, copy this group, paste this group. So now we have 4 groups. So now I'm going to connect this to the main nodes, and now let's open this group, select this merge node, set to dual screen, press 1 on the keyboard, make this window a little bit bigger, and now I'm going to disconnect this ellipse, and now I'm going to select this ellipse, and now let's mask out the OBS logo. And now let's connect this to media 2. Now you can see we have this DaVinci logo and we have this OBS logo. Now if I play this video, you can see we have the same animation on the OBS logo. So you have to select the merge node, reset this, add a keyframe, and now go a few frames ahead right about here, and now I'm going to animate this. Now if I play this video, you can see we have this animation, and now I'm going to add a motion blur as well. Now we are done. Let's open this group, disconnect the ellipse, select this merge node, press 1 on the keyboard, and now this time I'm going to delete this ellipse and reset my merge node, and now I'm going to drag this polygon, and now I'm going to cut out this Photopia logo. So I'm just making a rough selection to explain to you guys how you can create these types of animation using the merge node. And now let's connect this polygon to the media out, and now you can see we have this Photopia logo. Now let's select the merge node, go to the frame number 0, add a keyframe, and now let's animate this right about here. Now let's go to the settings, add a motion blur as well. Now you can see we have this animation. Now we have the final group, so open this group, reset the merge node, and disconnect the ellipse, delete the ellipse, select the merge node, press 1 on the keyboard, so we have this view. And now I'm going to drag this polygon, and I'm going to cut out myself. So as I mentioned earlier, I am just making a rough selection to explain to you how you can create this effect. Now let's connect this polygon to the media, and now let's animate myself. So now I'm going to add a keyframe, go few frame ahead, and I'm going to place this right here. Now let's go to the settings, add a motion blur as well. Now you can see we have this animation, set this to single screen. Now let's open this spline, and this is where all the magics happen. So let's select group number 1, select keyframe, make them smooth, make them reverse, and now click this shape box, and I'm going to just decrease the duration of this keyframe. So now you can see we have this animation. So now I'm going to uncheck this group, check the group number 1, and now I'm going to select these keyframe, make them smooth, make them reverse, select the shape box, and now let's decrease the duration of this animation. Now uncheck this group, check this group, and I will do the same for the rest of the group. Now let's hide this. Now I'm going to open group number 2, go to the merge node, and I'm going to decrease the shutter angle of this obvious logo. Now we have this animation. Now the final step is to select this picture, and now select the merge node, decrease the blend mode to 0, go to the frame number, go to this point of the video, and now let's add a keyframe, and let's increase the blend mode to 100. Now let's go to the spline, uncheck this, check the merge, select this, make them smooth, and now we have this animation. Now you can select all the animation, select the shape box, and you can also increase the duration of this animation together. So this is how you can use this merge node and create this animation. Now guys, you can also achieve this effect using this matte control node. So let's go to the edit page, and I have created this effect in different animation. So you can see I have used the merge node. If I open this, you can see I use the merge node and create this style animation. So we have the OBS logo, we have DaVinci Resolve, now we have Photopia, and now we have myself and the background as well. So you can see you can achieve this type of animation using the merge node. So now if I go to the edit page, add a timeline, and now let's drag a background, go to the fusion page, and now I can drag this picture right here, and now let's drag this matte control and add a merge node as well. So I'm going to connect this merge node, and now I'm going to connect this to merge node, and let's connect this media to the matte control. Now I'm going to select this polygon, select this ellipse, and press Alt and select the garbage matte. Now invert this mask. Now I'm going to cut out the DaVinci Resolve logo, and now let's copy this, paste this right here. Let's connect this to the main nodes, and now let's connect this picture to the matte control. And now I can select this, press 1 on the keyboard, disconnect this mask, Now I can mask out this OBS logo. Now let's connect this OBS logo, and now you can see we have OBS logo and we have DaVinci Resolve logo. So you can use the matte control if you want to, but if you don't want to use the matte control, then you can use the previous method. So now I'm going to create another timeline. Let's drag a background. If you're facing this problem, if your video keeps previewing in the edit page, then you have to reset your DaVinci Resolve, and that will fix this problem. So now let's go to the Fusion page. Now let's add this to single screen, and now let's drag these logos, and now let's connect these logo to the main node. Now you can also animate using the merge node on your previous screen. So select the merge node, go to the frame number 0, add a keyframe in center value. Now you can see we have these options appeared as soon as I click add a keyframe in the center. So now we have three main options right here. We have this insert and modify, we have the draw append, and we have the click append. So first I'm going to select this insert and modify, add a keyframe. Now if I play my video, you can see I can now animate these logo, animate my media on my previous screen while my video is being played. So now if I go to the spline, I can smooth this keyframe. I can now decrease duration of this animation as well, and now I can go to the settings of the merge node, add a motion blur as well. So as you can see we have this beautiful animation. So now let's reset the merge node. Now I'm going to select draw append, and if I add a keyframe, you can see it only select this insert and modify. So you have to go to the frame number 0, add a keyframe, and then select a mode. So now if I select draw append and now play the video, click here, now I can animate these logo. Now let's go to the settings, add a keyframe, decrease the shutter angle, and now we have this beautiful animation. So you can animate your media on previous screen. Now let's reset this. Now you can add a keyframe anywhere you want. So for example, if I want to add a keyframe right here, I can now go to the merge node, add a keyframe, select a mode, now play my video, now I can animate. So you don't have to go to the frame number 0 to animate your stuff. Now let's reset this, add a keyframe. Now we have the final, which is the click append. So I'm going to just play my video and I'm going to draw like this. Now you can see we have this animation. Now if I go to this spline, I can now make this keyframe smooth, and I can even add a motion blur. So this is how you can use the merge node in different way and create amazing animation in Fusion page. So now guys, I'm going to show you how you can edit and animate your graphics in DaVinci Resolve. So I have this logo, and now I'm going to drag this logo, and now let's go to the Fusion. So now I'm going to add a transform node, and now I'm going to animate this. So let's go to the frame number 0, add a keyframe. Let's place this right here. Now let's go a few frames ahead, and now let's animate this right about here. Go a few frames ahead. Now let's set the center to its original position, which is 0.5. Now if I play this video, you can see we have this animation. And now let's go to this spline, check this transform, select all these keyframes, make them smooth. Let's select the shape box, and now let's decrease the duration of this animation. And now we need to add an out animation, so let's go to the controls of this transform and now add a keyframe. So if your keyframe doesn't work, so you have to go to this spline, uncheck this shape box, and now if I add this keyframe, you can see the keyframe is now added. And now let's go few frames ahead, bring it right about here. Now let's make this disappear right about here. Now let's go to this spline, select these keyframe, make them smooth, and now I'm going to make the length of this keyword a little bit shorter. Now we have to add a motion blur as well, so let's go to the settings of this transform and now check the motion blur. Now we have this animation. Now if I go to the edit page, you can see we have this animation. Now if you want to add a shining effect to this logo, then you can also do that. It's very simple. So let's go to the fusion page, and now let's drag this brightness and contrast, and now let's increase the gain, decrease the lift, increase this gain, decrease the contrast, increase the bright. Don't change the brightness, and now we are good to go. Now we need to add a polygon mask, and now I'm going to mask this area of this logo. Now let's connect this mask, and now let's increase the soft edge just a little bit. Now we need to animate this polygon mask, so let's go to this frame, and now let's add a keyframe in center value. Let's place this right here. Now go few frames ahead, and now let's bring this right about here. Now if I play this video, you can see the shining effects is now a little bit faster. So we have to go to the keyframe, and now let's open the polygon, and now I'm going to select the polygon, and now let's place this right here, and now let's increase the duration of this keyframe. So press Ctrl, click here, and now select the keyframe and place this right here. Now if I go to this spline, uncheck all the keyframe except for polygon, zoom out, select the polygon keyframe, make them smooth, and now I'm going to set the loop. Now if I play this video, you can see we have this effect. Now let's select this polygon mask, and now let's add a motion blur. Now guys, let's go to this spline, and now let's uncheck the set loop, and now let's add a shape box, and now let's increase the duration of these keyframes. So now if I play this video, you can see we have, let's decrease the duration a little bit. That's fine. So now let's select all the keyframes and now set them low. Now we are good to go. Now guys, if you want to improve this animation a little bit further, so you have to duplicate this logo. Now place this above layer and place this below this layer. So now let's decrease the view, and now disable this layer, go to the color page, and now let's increase the color warper. Now let's go to the edit page, enable this layer. Now I'm going to place this a little bit above this layer. So now we have this type of animation. So now guys, if I go to timeline number 1, you can see I have created this animation, and now I created this animation as well. So if you want to improve this animation, you can also go to the effects, add adjustment clip, and now let's go to the open effects and add a camera shake. And now let's go to the effects, decrease the motion scale, increase the motion blur. Now we are done. So let's go to this point, loop this preview, and now we have this animation. Uncheck the snapping tool, and now let's place this right about here. Now we are good to go. So now if I play this video, you can see we have this animation. So guys, this is how you can edit and animate your graphics in DaVinci. Now guys, I'm going to show you how you can use expression in Fusion Paint. So I'm going to add a magnifying glass effect in Fusion using the expression. So let's first drag this transform node and place this right here. Now let's drag this ellipse and connect this ellipse to the transform node. Now select the transform node and increase the size. And now as you can see, if I select the ellipse, now I can move this ellipse around. But guys, you can tell the zoom does not work correctly because the transform node is zoomed from the center but not from the center of this ellipse. So we have to connect the center of this ellipse to this transform node. So we have to select the transform node. Now I'm going to pin this transform node so it stays right here. Now select the ellipse. As you can see, this is the ellipse and this is the transform node. Now I'm going to connect this pivot to the center of this ellipse. So you have to right click on the pivot, click on this expression. You can see we have this plus symbol right here. Now I'm going to click here, drag this point, and now connect this to the center, and now let go. And now as you can see, it connects the center of this transform pivot to the ellipse. So now if I move my ellipse, you can see now we have the accurate zoom effect. And now guys, to improve this effect, I'm going to add a magnifying glass. So this effect is inspired from the William Justin that create YouTube tutorial for DaVinci Resolve. So now I'm going to drag this picture. Let's connect this picture with our main nodes. And now let's place this right here. Now I'm going to add a transform node. Now let's connect this transform node. And now let's press 1 on the keyboard, select the merge, press 1 on the keyboard, and now I'm going to place this right here. Let's just decrease the zoom right about here, and now let's select the transform, and now I'm going to unpin this transform of the ellipse, and now I'm going to select the transform tool. Now let's increase the size, place this right about here, maybe just zoom out a little bit. Now we are good to go. Now if I move this ellipse, you can see we have to connect this ellipse to the magnifying glass to move the magnifying glass along with the ellipse. So we have to click here, make it pin ellipse. So now guys, we have to select the merge node, right click on the center, go to the expression, and now we have to connect this center to the center of the ellipse. Now you can see it connect with the ellipse. So now we have to select the transform and just place this below the ellipse right about here. Now if I select the ellipse, move the ellipse, you can see the magnifying glass is moved along with the ellipse. So now if you want to animate this magnifying glass, then you can also do that. So I'm going to just add a keyframe, select the ellipse, go to the controls, and in the center add a keyframe. Now guys, as soon as I add a center keyframe, you can see we have these tools as well. So you can use this tool if you want to, but I'm going to just manually animate this magnifying glass. So let's go a few frames ahead, place this right here. Now we have this effect. Now you can also, if I click here, let's set this to single screen. And now if I select this keyframe, you can also smooth this keyframe if you want to. Now let's select these two as well. So as you can see, we have this effect. So we have to just go to this spline, check the ellipse, select all the keyframe, make them smooth. Now you can also select these keyframes, select this shape box and increase the shape box. Now guys, select the merge node, go to the center, and now let's add a motion blur. So you can see we have this effect. We added a motion blur, so it improved the animation of the magnifying glass. So now if you want to improve this furthermore, so I'm going to just add a brightness node and I'm going to add a merge node as well. So let's connect this media 1 to the brightness, and now let's set this to dual screen, press 1 on the keyboard. So we have this brightness view, and now let's unpin this ellipse. So now I'm going to decrease the gain and decrease the lift right about here, and decrease the gamma just a little bit. Now I'm going to connect this brightness to the merge node, and now I'm going to disconnect this transform, and I'm going to connect this transform to the merge node, and now let's connect the merge node to the merge node. So guys, if I play this video, you can see we don't have that brightness and contrast background underneath that magnifying glass. So to achieve that, you have to connect this ellipse to the merge node, and now we have this magnifying glass effect. Now guys, we can improve this effect a bit more. So we can just add a dent effect, place this between these two merge nodes, and now let's change the size, place this right here, increase the size just a little bit, and now let's change the type to dent 2, and now I can increase or decrease strength of this dent effect. So now we have to move this dent effect along with the ellipse. So we have to click the ellipse, select the ellipse, pin it, select the dent effect, right click on the center of the dent effect, click on the expression, click on this plus symbol, drag this to the center of the ellipse. So now if I play this video, you can see we have this effect. So one more thing guys, I have to tell you, if your dent effect does not work, if your picture blink or your picture disappears, so you have to just disconnect the mask, play this video, you will get this result. Then you have to reconnect your ellipse, and then guys it will work fine. So you can also play with the settings of dent effect if you want to. And also you can change the picture. So for example, if I drag this picture, let's disconnect this picture, connect this to the transform, and connect this to the brightness. So now we have this picture. And you can also change the magnifying glass picture if you want to. So we have this picture, let's disconnect this picture, and let's select this picture, connect this to the transform, select the transform, and let's zoom out, now we are good to go. So now you can see we have this magnifying glass. So guys, this is how you can use the expression and create this beautiful magnifying glass effect in DaVinci Resolve. And by the way, this effect is inspired from the William Justin from YouTube. So now guys, I'm going to show you how you can create stunning audio waveform using the audio waveform plugin. So first of all, let's go to the effects and drag this fusion composition. Now let's go to the fusion page. So now we have to add a media in, so we have to search for audio waveform. So guys, if you did not install this audio waveform plugin, then you have to visit my Fusion plugin lecture in order to install this audio waveform. So let's add this media in node audio waveform and let's connect this to media out. Now as soon as I connect this to media out, you can see we have this display. So it says please load audio file. So we have to load an audio file. So in order to load an audio file, you have to select the audio waveform and now click on this browse button. Now let's select an audio file, open this file. Now you can see we have audio waveform. Now you can also improve this waveform. Furthermore, you can decrease its amplitude scale, increase the sample start, increase or decrease, zoom in and zoom out, increase or you can decrease the resolution. You can select the waveform visuals. For example, if you click this and zoom in, you can see we have this visuals. Now we have this and now we have this. Now you can also go to the spectrum, and now if I click on the spectrum, you can see we have the display. You can change the appearance to bars, to smooth field, and to needles. So if you go to the controls, click here, you can see we have different visuals. So guys, you can play around with these settings as well if you want to. But for now guys, we're not going to create a spectrum, we are going to create a stunning audio waveform. So I'm going to reset this. Now let's load the file again. Now let's click here, select this. I'm going to zoom in the audio and now let's decrease the amplitude. And now you can also use this proxy to zoom in and zoom out furthermore if you want to. So now you can see we have this audio waveform. So now I'm going to select the layout and I'm going to change the color of the waveform. This is fine. And now I'm going to add a glow effect. Let's connect this glow effect and let's increase the size and increase the glow amount right about here. Now if we go to the edit page guys, you can see we have this audio waveform, but we are not done yet guys. So we have to go to the Fusion page, and now I'm going to place these nodes right here. And now let's go to the effects, go to the templates. Now guys, in templates, in particle folder, you can add these effects. So for example, you can add blowing leaf effect. Just add a merge node and let's connect the final node to the merge node. And now you can see we have these glowing effect, these blowing leaf effect. So I'm going to zoom in, and if you go to the settings, you can add a motion blur. And now let's go to the edit page. You can see we have this effect. So you can change, you can apply these particles. So I'm going to just delete these, and now I'm going to select matrix particle, and now let's zoom in, connect this matrix to the merge node. So as you can see, we have this mesh on the screen. So we have to select the matrix, decrease the density, and we have to increase the depth, and let's increase the render height and width. Let's decrease the density a bit more. Now we are good to go. So you can also change the color of this matrix. So we have to double click on this matrix, select the text folder, open this text folder, and now you can change its color from here. So now I'm going to change this color to this. Now let's click on this OK. Now guys, we are done here, so we have to go to the edit page. So now guys, I'm going to drag that same file that we give the audio waveform plugin, and I'm going to drag that file right here. So let's drag this file right here. Now I can increase the duration of this effect, and as you can tell guys, if I play this video, you can see we have that same audio waveform on the screen and in this track as well. So if I play this right here, you can see we don't have that visuals and we don't have the audio in here in this portion, and now we have this portion audio and we have this audio. So now we play this audio. So now the next step is to add a glow again on this fusion composition, but in edit page. So we have to drag this, drop this, and if we go to the effects, turn off, you can see we have this shining effect. So we have to increase the spread a little bit, and now we are good to go. Now guys, if you want to change the color of the audio waveform, so you have to select, or you have to go to the color page, select this, and now you can change the color. So I'm going to hide these options, and now let's go to the curve, go to the hue versus hue, and now I can change the color. This is fine. So now let's go to the edit page and go to the fusion, and now I'm going to select the matrix, and now let's change the color of this matrix to this color. Now let's go to the edit page. You have to select your color, now this is fine. So now we created this audio waveform. So now guys, the next step is we can create a new compound clip. Let's create a compound clip. Now I'm going to add a effect called zoom blur effect, and let's go to the effects, increase the amount, and now increase the center exclusion right about here. Now let's decrease the amount. Now we are good to go. Now I'm going to add another effect called light rays effect. Now let's go to the effects, go to the light rays effect, and increase the length and increase the softness just a little bit. Now you can tell we have this beautiful audio waveform effect. Now you can add a camera effect, camera shake. Now let's go to the camera shake, decrease the motion scale, decrease the speed as well, and decrease the motion blur of this camera. Now we have this audio waveform. So I'm going to render this audio waveform, and then I will show you the result of this render. Now guys, we have the render result. So guys, this is the audio that we are going to edit in DaVinci Resolve Fairlight. Now you can change the audio waveform representation if you want to. You have to go back to Fusion Composition. Let's click here. Now let's go back to Open in Timeline. Select this Fusion Composition. You can change the visual of the waveform as well if you want to. So I can now select this audio waveform, and now I can change the audio waveform. And now if we go back, you can see we have this effect. So you can play around with the setting of the audio waveform. So I have this example as well. You can change the color of the matrix and change the color of this audio waveform. So guys, I have this example where I add more matrix to this scene. So you can create these types of effect using this method. So guys, this is how you can create the stunning audio waveform using the audio waveform plugin. So now guys, I'm going to show you how you can use custom tool in Fusion page. So I have this PNG and I'm going to drag this right here. Now let's go to the Fusion page, and now I'm going to first add a transform node, and now I'm going to add a custom tool. So you don't need to connect this custom tool node to our main node. So I'm going to place this right here, and now if we select the transform node, if I right click on the center and add an expression in Y position, so I'm going to type this node name custom tool. So you have to type the exact same name that we have right here. So I have the C capital, T capital, and I have typed C and T capital in here. Now I'm going to type this position, which is number in 1. So I'm going to type exactly the same name. So I'm going to just add a dot, now number in 1. Now if we select the custom tool, you can see I can now change the position of Y center of the transform using this custom tool slider. Now I can right click and go to the modify, and now I can add a shake to this position. So basically this is how the custom tool works. So I'm going to reset this custom tool. Now let's reset the transform. Now if you select the custom tool node, you can also hide these points. If you go back to config, now if you go back to control, you can see we don't have these points. And you can also rename these number, but if you rename these number, that won't work. So I recommend don't change their name. So now guys, I'm going to animate this picture mouth using the custom tool. So let's first disconnect this transform node, place this right here. Now I'm going to drag this polygon mask, and I'm going to cut out the mouth. Now let's invert this, and now let's connect this to media in. Now I'm going to copy these nodes, and now I'm going to paste these nodes right here. Now let's connect these nodes, and now let's rearrange them like this. Now guys, select the polygon, uncheck the invert, and uncheck the show view controls, and I'm going to adjust the border of this mask. Now we are good to go. Now let's connect the transform node to this node, and now let's select the transform node, right click on the center, add an expression in Y position, because we need to, if I right click here, remove the expression. So I'm going to animate this mouth. So first I'm going to just adjust this mask right here. Now let's reset the transform, and now add an expression in Y position. So I'm going to type custom tool 1 dot number in 1. Now let's go back to custom tool, and now I'm going to right click in custom tool, go to the modify with, and I'm going to add audio waveform. So if you did not install audio waveform plugin, then you have to visit my Fusion plugin lecture, where I teach how you can install this plugin. So I'm going to click here, select this, and now we have the modifier. Now let's go to the modifier, and now I can load an audio file, and as soon as I load an audio file, you can see we have this mouth animation. So now I'm going to go back to our first frame where we don't have any audio waveform. So I'm going to just adjust this amplitude offset. Let's zoom in, and I'm going to animate this offset, adjust this offset right about here. Now if we play this video, you can see we have this position error. So I'm going to just change my amplitude scale. Right about here. Now guys, you can see we have this animation. Now let's go back to the edit page, and now I'm going to drag the same audio file that we add in our custom tool. Now this is the audio file. Now I'm going to increase the duration of this video, And now guys, if I play this video, so guys, this is the audio that we are going to edit in DaVinci Resolve Fairlight. Now if we see, we have this gap right here, so I'm going to select the mask. Let's hide this, and now let's increase the border just a little bit. Now if we go back to edit page, you can see, so guys, this is the audio that we are going to edit in DaVinci Resolve Fairlight. Now guys, if we delete these nodes, let's delete this nodes as well. Now I'm going to play this media. I'm going to disconnect this. Let's connect this to the media out, and I'm going to add a transform. Let's select the custom tool, reset this, right click here, modify with audio waveform, and I'm going to load this file. And if we go back to tools, go back to transform, and we can add an expression in zoom as well. So I'm going to now you can see we have this zoom in with audio waveform. So you can also select this zoom in. So if we go back to custom tool, go to the modifier, you can also so now if I play this video, you can see we have this zoom audio waveform effect. So you can also add these expression in any value. So you can also add in angle. For example, I'm going to now copy this value. Now let's remove the expression. Let's add an expression in angle. So now you can see we have this animation. So guys, this is how you can use the custom tool in Fusion page. Now guys, I'm going to show you how you can use camera 3D in Fusion page. So I'm going to drag text plus, and now I'm going to disconnect this node, and now let's duplicate this 2 times. Now we have 3 text plus, so I'm going to rename this to 1, rename this to 2, and this to 3. Now guys, to work with camera 3D, we have to drag an image plan 3D. So you can drag this from here, or you can search for this name. So I can now drag this 3 times because we have 3 text. So I'm going to connect this to this one, connect this to this one, and now this to this one. Now guys, we have to drag a merge node, but as you can see we have 3D planner, so we have to drag and merge 3D. So I can now drag this merge 3D. If you drag a simple merge, then that won't work. So if I connect this image 3D planner to this merge, you can see it does not connect. But if I connect this to 3D merge, you can see it easily connected. So I can now connect these 3 nodes. Let's delete this merge node, simple. Now guys, we have to drag a camera 3D. So let's drag this camera, and now let's connect this camera to merge 3D. Now if I select this merge, press 1 on the keyboard, you can see we have this view, and if I press 2 on the keyboard, you can see we don't have anything. Now guys, we have to drag a render 3D enabled to connect to media out. So I'm going to drag this render 3D. Let's connect this merge 3D to render, and now let's connect this render 3D to media out. Now as you can see, we don't have anything in our output. So I'm going to select this camera, now drag this behind like this. Now you can see we have these 3 numbers. Now I'm going to select this first one, place this right here, and I'm going to change its color as well. Now let's select the second one, place this right here, and now I'm going to change its color as well. Now for the final one, I'm going to change its color to red, maybe green. Now let's place this right here. Now if we select merge 3D, and you can press Alt and using your middle mouse or scroll, and you can select your image planner, and you can place these text plus reposition them if you want to. So I can now select the third one. Now let's place this right here. Now you can see these are in 3D space. So I can now animate them using my camera. And now I can show you how you can use this camera. So I'm going to select the camera 3D. And now let's go to the control visibility and now check focal length. Now as you can see we have this green window. Now guys, if you want to focus on number 1, then you have to drag this window to the number 1 place. So let's change the focal length from here. And now let's drag the camera right here. Right about here. Now I'm going to decrease the angle view right about here. And now let's go to the render 3D. Now you have to change the render type to OpenGL render, and you have to go to your accumulation effects and now enable the accumulation effects. Now I'm going to change this to 10 and this to 0.02. Now guys, as you can see, the number 1 is now in focus. But if I place this window to number 3 or number 3, then you will see the number 3 will in focus and these two will out of focus. So now I'm going to change this to number 3. And now as you can see, the number 3 is now in focus. So this window is representation of the focus of this camera. So guys, this is how basically camera 3D works. So if you want to animate this focal length, then you can also do that. So you can also add a keyframe, go few frame ahead. You can drag this on number 1. Now guys, if I play this video, you can see the focus is changing from number 3 to number 1. So basically this is how camera 3D works. Now guys, I'm going to select my camera 3D and I'm going to reset this camera. Let's place this right here. Let's go to the render and I'm going to uncheck this enable accumulation effects for now. Now guys, I'm going to drag a background right here. Let's drag another image plan 3D. Let's connect this. And now let's disconnect these texts. Now I'm going to drag this image, place this right here and connect this to this one, and let's connect this to this one as well. Now as you can see, we have these images. So now I'm going to select my image planner, reset this. And now I'm going to select this, go to the transform, and I can now change its scale. Right about here. Let's copy this value. Now we have these 3 images, these 4 with background. So now I'm going to select my background node. And now I'm going to connect this to merge node. And now let's select the image planner 3D and I'm going to increase the size. Now let's place this right here because this is the background. Let's zoom in and I'm going to place this right here. Now I'm going to select this one. Let's place this right here. Now this is the final one, so I'm going to drag this in center right about here. Let's select this one and now let's drag this right here. Now I'm going to place my camera. Now you can animate this position like this, or you can animate the position like this, or you can just zoom out like this. Now I'm going to select the render. Now enable the compilation settings. Now if you increase the quality, then it will take longer to render your video. So I'm going to just add this 10 and I'm going to change this to 4. Now this is fine. Now guys, I'm going to select my camera 3D and now I'm going to enable the focal length, and now let's change the focal length. So if your focal length is taking too much to load, so you have to go to the render, then disable the accumulation setting. Then you can also easily change the focal length of your camera. Now let's drag this camera right here. And now let's zoom all the subjects. Now we are good to go. Now guys, I'm going to animate the position of this camera. So let's go to select the camera first, go to the transform, and now we have these translation. You can animate the position like this one, or you can animate the position like this. So now guys, I'm going to animate the Z position. So let's add a keyframe, go few frame ahead, and now let's focus. Now let's place this right here. Now guys, as you can see, we have this animation. Now let's go to this spline, check this, select all the keyframes, move them. Now let's go to the controls, go to the render 3D, and now enable the compilation settings. Now guys, if I play this cursor and play this video, you can see we have this animation. So focus is now shifting from this to our background. Now you can also go to the settings, enable the motion blur, and now if I play this video, now we have this animation. So you can create easily these types of animation using the camera 3D. So I can now change the position of the camera. Right about here. And now if I play this video guys, you can see we have this animation. So guys, I have this project right here. So as you can see, we have 1 2 3 4 5 media in, and I connected this. So if I select this merge node, press 1 on the keyboard and select this, you can see this is the grass, and I color grade this grass using the color correction, and as you can see guys, we have these images connected with the image planner 3D, and these are connected to merge 3D. We have camera render 3D, and we have media out. And now guys, I'm going to show you the result of this render. Now guys, I'm going to open this video. So as you can see, I just shift my focal length. I just animate my focal length using the keyframe. You can also animate your position of your camera, and you can achieve this type of result. As you can see, this is the same project that we have in here. Now guys, I have this project. As you can see guys, I have this video right here. I cut this video, and now we have this media, and I cut this video using this rectangle mask. Then I connect this to ultra keyer, remove my green screen, then I crop this using this crop node, and then this connect to image planner 3D. You can use this auto, you can use this customize crop, and then it is connected to the image planner 3D, and then it is connected to merge 3D, and then we have this result. As you can see, this is the front image, this is our background image, and this is our subject. So now if I play this video, you can see you can also use a video in image planner 3D. Now guys, we are in edit page. So I'm going to double click on this video, and I'm going to press I on the keyboard and press O on the keyboard, and now we have this part of this video. So let's go to the fusion page, and now I'm going to drag this video. Let's reset our image planner, and now I'm going to connect this to our image planner 3D. As you can see, this is screen recording of DaVinci Resolve. So we are going to animate the focal length, and we are creating a 3D screen recording. So I'm going to place this right here. Now let's go transform of this image planner, and now let's rotate this image right here. As you can see, we are creating a 3D screen recording. So you can also animate the position if you want to, or you can just animate the focal length. So I'm going to select my camera, place this camera right here, and now I'm going to animate the focal length. So select the camera 3D and go to render first, and uncheck the motion blur and uncheck the accumulation settings, because if you enable this accumulation settings, then we have the focal length blur, and it will take longer to load your video in previous screen. So I'm going to just uncheck this accumulation settings, and now let's select the camera, add a keyframe. As you can see, this is the position animation, so we have to delete all these keyframes. Let's go to this one, transform, click here, go to this frame, and now click here. And now I'm going to go to the controls, add a keyframe, go few frame ahead, and now I can change the focal length to right about here. Now guys, if I play this video, go to render first, enable the accumulation settings, you can see we have this motion blur. And now as you can see, this is the focus area and this is the blurred area. If I play this video, you can see the focus is now shifting from this area to this area. So you can also create this type of video if you want to, and you can also animate the position if you want to. So you don't need to change the position of the camera, you have to just select your image planner, and now I'm going to go to the render. Let's uncheck the accumulation setting. And now let's animate the position. So let's add a keyframe in transition X, and I'm going to go few frame ahead, and now I'm going to change this to this area. Now if you go to the first frame, go to the spline, select all the keyframe, make them smooth. And now let's select the render, enable the cumulation settings. So now if I play this video, you can see guys, we have this beautiful animation. So you can create these types of animation. You can also go to the render and enable the motion blur if you want to. Now guys, let's play this video, and now you can see we have this motion blur animation. So guys, I have this another example. As you can see, I only changed the position of this image planner and I didn't change the focal length of this camera. We have another example. As you can see, I just animate the focal length of the camera. The focus is now shifting from this area to this area. To get this type of view, you have to select your image planner and then you will have to rotate its position. So let's go to the render, uncheck motion blur, uncheck accumulation settings, so we get the fast render preview. So if you rotate your screen recording image planner, you will get this type of result. So now we will get this type of result. So now if I go to this frame, let's move this keyframe, and now let's play this right here. And now you can see we will get this type of blur. So we have to change the camera and play this camera right here. Now let's go to render and I'm going to enable the accumulation settings. So now as you can see, this area is now in focus, and if we go to frame number 1, you will see this area is now in focus. So you will get this type of result if you rotate your image planner. So guys, this is how you can use the camera 3D in Fusion page. Now guys, I'm going to show you how you can place your subject in a different background and create different environment. So I'm going to drag this page right here in edit page, and let's just delete the audio. Now let's go to the Fusion page and I'm going to drag ultra gear. Let's connect this. Now I'm going to select this color picker and I'm going to select a color. This is good. Now let's go to the image, and now I'm going to let's set this to single screen, and now I'm going to now let's go to the matte, and you can play around with the contract and expand and the gamma. So you have to play around with these slider in order to get an accurate green screen cutout. Now I think we are good to go. Now let's go to the edit page, select your footage, and now I'm going to crop this area. Now guys, I'm going to place this footage right here and I'm going to drag a background. So this is our background. So first I'm going to just increase the size of this background, and now I'm going to search for noise, fast noise, go to the open effects, and now we have this fast noise. Let's drag this on our background, and now let's go to the effects and now change the preset to smoke. Now let's decrease the brightness, increase the contrast, and I'm going to change this to soft light. And now if I play this video, you can see we have this smoke effect in our background. Now you can also change the color of this smoke, so I'm going to change this to this blue color, and you can also enable the open effects and change the direction of the smoke if you want to. Now you can change the scale of the smoke if you want to. Now guys, we have to color correct our subject to match with our background. So I'm going to select the color page. Let's hide the clips and timeline. Now guys, we have this green screen footage right here. Now guys, if you want to hide this layer, hide the background, you have to click on this layer, unmix, and now we have only our subject. But if you want to enable the background, so you have to click here, and now we have the background. So now the first step is to decrease the gamma, decrease the lift to match with the shadow of the background, and now I'm going to decrease the gain as well right about here. Now increase the contrast, and now let's increase gamma just a little bit right here. Now if I play this video, you can see we have this result. So we have a little bit fringe right here. So let's go to the fusion page, and now let's fix this. So go to the pre-matte and just increase the background correction. Let's go to the matte and let's increase this slider. Now we are good to go. Now guys, the fringes is removed. Now guys, we have this result right here. So the next step is to select the footage and make a new compound clip. Now guys, I'm going to drag this light rays effect onto this footage, and now let's go to the effects and increase the length, increase the softness, and increase the brightness just a little bit. So now guys, if I play this video, you can see we have this interesting effect. Now you can also drag this light rays effect right here, and you can also open this. Let's select this and now open this in timeline. Now you have to select this background, and you can also change the position of this background as well, so it stays behind our subject. Now if I play this video, you can see we have this interesting light rays effect. Now to match with the background, you have to drag a glow effect as well, and I'm going to show you why I'm telling you to add a glow effect. If I spread this glow and increase the saturation, you will see the subject is now matched with the background. You can also drag a fast noise effects again on the main compound clip. Let's set this to mist, and let's change this to add color dodge. And now let's go to the global blend, and I'm going to just write about it. Now finally I'm going to drag a camera shake. Let's decrease the motion, increase the speed. Now guys, we have this result. Now guys, if you change the subject color grading, you can also create an entirely new video. So if I go to our compound clip and go to the color page, now you can see we have this subject. So I'm going to decrease the gain, decrease my gamma, decrease the lift, just increase the gain right about here. Now if I go to the edit page, go to the timeline, you can see we have different results. So you can manipulate this green screen in different ways. Now I'm going to show you another example. So I'm going to create a new timeline. Now let's copy this and let's paste this right here. Now let's go to the color page, and now let's reset this node. Go to the edit page, and I'm going to drag this background right here. Now let's zoom this background, enable dynamic zoom, and I'm going to change this to easy in. So the background is now zoom out, so we have to zoom in the subject. So I'm going to just set this to easy out, and let's swap this. Now you can see the subject is now zoom in and the background is now zoom out. So now let's go to the color page, and the first step is to match the shadow of the background. So I'm going to change my lift, and I'm going to add this color. Now this is before and this is after. You can see we just change the lift and we have this result. Now I'm going to increase my contrast, and I'm going to increase the gain just a little bit. Now guys, let's go to the edit page, and I'm going to make a new compound clip. And now let's add a light rays effect, increase the length, increase the softness, and decrease the brightness. Now if I play this video, you can see we have this result. So now let's go to the color page, and now I'm going to color grade this footage. So I'm going to select my color warper, and I'm going to have this qualifier on. So you can select this qualifier from here on preview window, and now let's select this point, and I'm going to drag this point to this side. Right here. Now you can see we have this amazing result. Now you have to color grade this footage. So I'm going to increase the contrast, decrease the gain, decrease the lift, and now increase my gain. So this is before, this is after. You can also change the saturation if you want to. Now you can also add a node. Go to the effects, and you can also drag a glow effect. Spread the glow effect. You can increase or decrease saturation if you want to. And now I'm going to decrease my gamma, decrease my gain just a little bit. And now in our node, I'm going to decrease my gain as well, right about it. Now if I go to the edit page, guys, you can see we have this result. So guys, you can manipulate this green screen and play this in different background and create different result. So I'm going to show you my other example. So let's open the first timeline. So as you can see, I have this background. So if I open timeline number 2, you can see I have created this. So guys, if you want this result, so you have to go to the color page, you have to decrease the lift all the way down. Now you have to decrease the gamma as well and decrease the offset. Now you can see we have this result. You can also guys go to timeline and you can also increase or decrease the source threshold. Now we have this result. So this is how I created this background. I also blurred my background. So let's go to retro and let's drag a box blur. Right about. Now if I go to this timeline, you can see this is our final result. So guys, this is how I created this green screen effect. So now I'm going to show you my other example as well. So guys, this is another version of the green screen. So I blur my background, add a box blur, and I just increase a glow just a little bit. Now guys, I have this version as well. To get this result, you have to, if I open this in timeline, now let's select the subject, go to the color page, and in the clip I'm going to select my subject, and you can see I decrease my gain and decrease my offset and the lift, and we are done. And I add a little bit pink on the subject face, so we get this result. So if I go to the edit page guys, you can see I add a light rays effect, then I add a camera shake, and then I add a fast noise effect. Then you will get this result if you want to. Now if I go to the timeline number 8, you can see I have this different version with the same procedure that we did in timeline number 2. Now if I go to timeline number 9, you can see I just, in this background green screen effect, I just add a glow effect and add a fast noise effect. You can select your fast noise, heat, haze, or you can select the river or water phase to get this distortion effect. You can also go to the color page and increase contrast, and you will get this result. As you can, this is amazing because the background lighting is affecting my face as well. Now if I go to the edit page, go to timeline number 8, you can see I have different version. So you can create different version with only one green screen and create different background effect. Now guys, I have another example as well. Now we have this version, I have this version, and I have this version as well. For this version I just change my color grading. So guys, this is how you can create an advanced green screen effect in DaVinci Resolve. So now guys, I'm going to show you how you can take this picture and convert this into this amazing masterpiece. And by the way, this is all done in DaVinci Resolve. As you can see, we have multiple nodes. So now let's go to the edit page, and I have this timeline number 2, and you can see we have this fresh picture. So I'm going to zoom in this picture and let's place this right here. Let's zoom out a little bit. Now guys, we are in color page, and the first step is to go to the masking window, and I'm going to select the circular mask, decrease is offset all the way to 0, and I'm going to place this on my eyes. Let's place this right here. And now I'm going to add another mask, so select on this circle, and now we have this mask, so decrease this offset all the way to 0. And now I'm going to place this on my other eyes. Right here. Now if we turn off this masking window preview controls, you can see we have cut out these eyes. Now you can click on this icon to see your masking area as well. So now guys, the next step is to go to the color warper, and now guys, I'm going to increase my gain, increase my gamma, and increase my lift. So now we have this white eyes, so I'm going to add a color. So let's add this color. Now let's go to the masking window, select the first mask, and I'm going to turn off these controls, and I'm going to just increase the softness right about here. Now select your second mask and increase the softness as well. Now you can also add this color right here, and now I'm going to make the circle soft just a little bit. And now we are done. Now guys, let's create a node, and now in this node we are going to blur our background. So I'm going to go to the masking window, select this mask, and I'm going to cut out my subject. And now we are done. Now guys, we have to invert this mask, and now let's go to the effects and search for box blur, and now drag this onto this background. Now I'm going to increase the number of interaction to 3, and I'm going to also make the edges soft. Right about here. Now this is before and this is after. Now let's create another node. Now guys, in this node I'm going to add the reflection of these glow eyes. So let's go to the masking window, select this mask, and I'm going to mask out this area, and I'm going to add another curve mask, and I'm going to add glow right here. Now let's add glow. So add another curve mask, and I'm going to select this area, and now we are done. Now I'm going to increase my gain, and I'm going to increase the softness of these masks. And if I turn off these controls, you can see we have this effect. So I'm going to make this a little bit soft, and I'm going to increase the gain, and I'm going to add this color. Now let's select the mask and make this soft just a little bit so it blends with our face. And now we are done. Now I'm going to select this mask as well. Let's make it a little bit soft, and now we are done. Now I'm going to also enable the controls, and I'm going to also drag this so we get the light to the subject nose as well. let's just not mask this area. Now we are good to go. Now guys, I'm going to create another node. Let's place this right here. Now guys, in this node I'm going to select the masking window. Let's go to the curve mask and I'm going to mask out the subject face. So now guys, we are making the people to focus on the subject face, not with the background. So we are going to dull this background. We are going to decrease the gain of this background. So let's invert this mask, decrease the gain. Let's go to the curve, select this point, drag this right here, and I'm going to add a little bit contrast. Now I'm going to add this bluish color as well on our background, and I'm going to make mask softer. Now if I turn off these controls, you can see we have achieved this effect. Now guys, our next step is to right click on this node and we have to add an outside node. So now this node will affect the face, so we have to increase the contrast. And let's go to the curve and I'm going to add a contrast to our face right about here. Now let's select this mask, go to the power window, and let's make this a little bit softer as well, right about here. Now let's select this node and we have to adjust the contrast. And now I'm going to add a mid detail 50, and now as you can see guys, we achieved this result. So this is before and this is what we achieved yet. Now we are done. Now guys, I'm going to create another node, and in this node guys, I'm going to just increase my mid and detail all the way to 100, so we get this type of HDR effect in our picture. So now guys, I'm going to add a final node and let's place this right here. And now guys, in this final node, I'm going to increase my contrast. And I'm going to change the pivot. Let's decrease the contrast a little bit right about here. Now guys, I'm going to color grade this footage, so I'm going to take my offset and I'm going to place this right here. Let's change the gamma, and now let's take, sorry, I'm changing the gain. Now let's take the gamma, and now guys, I'm going to change my lift to this color. Now let's decrease the lift right here, and now let's go to the log and I'm going to add this color. And now we are done. Now you can also go to the color warper, add another node, and you can also change the color of this face as well if you want to make it more green or make it more red. and you can also change the background color as well. And now we have this result. So guys, this is how you can edit this picture. Now if I go to this picture, you can see I just changed my color grading. So you can follow this step. So you can follow these value to get this result. And in HDR guys, I add these value as well. I change my dark to -0.03 and Y value to 0.06, and that's it. Now I can select this and change this to this side. And now let's go to this, and now I can change this. So guys, you can create different version of this picture. All you have to do is just change the color grading of the picture. Now guys, you can also go back to the reflections, light glow around the eyes, and you can also change its color if you want to. So I can change this color to more like yellow, and now you can see we have different vibes. Now guys, for example, if you want to copy this offset, you can also do that. So you don't need to change the offset to this position, you can also copy the value. So for example, if I want to change my offset blue value, so I can now copy this value. Now let's go to our main timeline. I can now paste this value. Now let's click here, and now you can see we have this result. So this is how you can copy the value in your wheels, color wheels, and in your HDR wheels as well. So now guys, I'm going to show you how you can use the color page masking window and create different effects. So first I have this picture number 2 and I have this picture number 1. So our first step is to guys go to the video transition, scroll down at the end and drag this burn away transition. Now we have this transition. Now I'm going to change its angle, and I'm going to decrease its chart all the way to 0. Now guys, we have to go to the color page and go to the clip, select this above picture, above bike, and I'm going to go to the masking window. Let's select this mask, curve mask tool, and I'm going to mask out this bike. Now guys, we are done. Now our next step is to right click here, add an alpha output, and connect this alpha output to this blue. Now we have this background image as well, so we have to adjust the mask. So this is the background bike wheel, so I have to remove this as well. So we have to expand the mask. So let's expand this mask right here. And this is the background bike light, so we have to get rid of it as well. Now let's turn off these controls, and I'm going to increase the softness, and now we are good to go. Now guys, let's go to the edit page, and now guys, if I play this video, you can see we have this transition effect. Now all you have to do is just improve this transition. Now guys, keep it in mind, you have to add a transition before masking out this bike, otherwise it won't work. I tried myself and it did not work. So now I have to increase the burn, and you can also change the hue if you want to. So I can now change this to this color. Now I'm going to increase the brightness, increase the glow, and I'm going to change the glow spread as well. Now if I play this video, you can see we have this transition. Now you can also play around with this slider. You can also change the scale. And now guys, I'm going to trim this. Now let's right click here, create a new compound clip, increase the size, add a dynamic zoom, swap this. If your transition is way too fast, you have to open this in timeline and you have to increase the transition duration. And now if I play this video, you can see we have this transition. And now I'm going to add a glow effect. And I'm going to also increase the saturation, decrease the gamma, increase the gain. Let's spread this. Now let's go to the color page, and I'm going to first we have to go to the fusion page, and now let's go to the effects, go to the templates, and in templates I'm going to drag this matrix, place this right here. Now I'm going to add a merge node, or we can just press shift, click here, and now it added. Now we have to decrease the density, increase the depth, change the width, and change the height as well. Now let's go to the edit page, and you can see we have this result. Now let's go to the color page, and I'm going to add this color. Let's increase the contrast a little bit, decrease the lift, and let's increase the gamma. Now I'm going to so this is before, this is after. Now guys, this is the final result. So guys, if I play this video, you can see we have this amazing transition. So this is how I created this transition. If you want to get this kind of result, all you have to do is just open this, and you have to increase its duration, and that's it. And you also change the color of this. For example, I'm going to change hue to more like this color, and now we are good to go. And if you want to know how I created this effect, so I can just show you that. So if I open this in timeline, you can see we have this version as well. I just increase, so go to the color page and increase this mid and detail, and now we have this result. Now as you can see, we have improved the footage. Now guys, if I open in timeline number 1, you can see we have created this version as well. So now if I open this in timeline, you can see we have this. I have two pictures, this is picture number 2 and this is picture number 1, and that's how I created this transition. And now guys, if you want to know how I created this transition, it's very simple to create. So all you have to do is just, I'm going to copy this picture, and now go to the main timeline. Let's create a new timeline, paste this picture right here, and let's go to the color page, and I'm going to reset this node. Let's reset all the nodes. And now guys, the first step is to go to the color page, go to the masking window, and let's come to this point, select the curve mask, and I'm going to mask out this subject. And now guys, we have to add a keyframe, and we have to adjust this mask right here. Now guys, if you want to add a smooth animation, all you have to do is just go frame by frame, or you can just go to the first frame, place this right here, and now if I play this video, you can see we have this animation. Now the mask will automatically track the subject, and we have to manually adjust it just a little bit. And now guys, we are done. And now guys, we have to add an alpha output, and let's connect this, and now we have this result. Now I can just adjust this mask. Let's just increase the inside. Let's just turn off this control so we can see it better. And now we are good to go. So all you have to do is just manually adjust these masks. And now we are done guys. Now let's go to the edit page, and let's copy this footage. Let's paste this right here, and now we are done guys. So this is how I created this transition. Now guys, let's go to the power window, masking window, and let's add the circular mask. Decrease its softness all the way to 0, increase the size, and add another circular mask, decrease its softness all the way to 0. Now guys, if you want to, so first I'm going to click here, and as you can see, this is the mask number 1, and if I place this right here, this is the mask number 2. But if you want to cut out this mask, you have to just place this mask inside our first mask, and you have to click on this icon. So if I click on this icon, you can see this mask cutting out our previous mask. So now I'm going to use this technique, and I'm going to create a shockwave effect. And now guys, I'm going to select my first mask, and I'm going to select this mask that are inside our mask, and I'm going to decrease the size all the way to this dot size. Now guys, I'm going to select this mask, and let's place this right here. Now guys, we are going to animate this mask. So we have to just add a keyframe in corrector, go to this keyframe, and now we have to come to this frame, and now I can increase the size of this mask. And if we go back, we have to decrease the size of this mask. So we have to type 0, and now I'm going to select this mask, and I am going to increase the size of this mask. Right here, let's select our previous mask and increase the size, and we have to select this mask and increase the size right about here. Now guys, if we go back, you can see we have this animation. So we have to animate this mask as well, so I'm going to animate this, and now if I play this video, you can see we have this mask animation. Now guys, we have to select all these keyframe, and now guys, I'm going to manually adjust this animation. So as you can see, we have this circular animation. Now let's turn off these preview controls so you can see what is happening right here. So as you can see guys, we have this circular animation. Now our next step is to go to the effects and guys, search for a fast noise effect. Now I'm going to drag this effect. Let's click here, and I'm going to heat waves. Let's change this to river. Let's change this to waterfall. Yeah, this is fine. Now let's select the mask, increase the softness. Select this mask and increase the softness. Now you can see we have this animation. Now let's select all these masks, and now we have this animation. Now you can also select all these keyframes, right click on them, and let's change them to dynamic keyframe. You can also play around with these settings as well. You can also add a shockwave effect. You can also add a camera shake effect when our wave starts. So I can just go to the effect, add an adjustment layer, go to the open FX, add a camera shake effect, increase the speed, and just play this where our shockwave start. And you can also add a camera shake to the layer. Let's increase the motion. Let's increase the speed and increase the motion blur. Let's increase the motion scale as well. So you get the idea. So you can create this type of effect using the masking window. Now guys, in this version I created this shockwave effect using the layer node, and I switched their input. So as you can see, you can switch their input. So you can connect this to here and this to here, or you can just switch their input, connect this to below one and connect this to the above one. And in the final node guys, I just color correct all my footage, and in the final guys, in edit page, I just add a camera shake, and now we have this effect. Now if we go to the color page, select this, as you can see we have this animation. So this is the circular masking window animation. using the keyframe. As you can see, we have this keyframe, and if you open this keyframe, you can see we have the circle window. We have circle window 2 right here. So guys, this is how you can use a masking window and create different effects in DaVinci Resolve. So now guys, I'm going to show you how you can use the fusion modifier and create amazing text effect. So as you can see, I have these text effect as well. So I have several examples that I will show you at the end. And guys, you will find out how you can create these types of text effect as well. So first guys, I'm going to create this animation. So first guys, I'm going to type hello. Let's change the color and let's increase the size as well. Now guys, let's go to the fusion page, and first guys, I'm going to add a simple glow effect. Let's increase the size just a little bit. Now let's select the template, and if you right click on this type text and you can select the forward. Now we have this modifier tab, turn on. Now select the modifier tab and we have to add a delay. So guys, when will we add a size animation, then it will affect the first character, then it will affect the second, the third, and so on. So let's set it to single screen, and let's go to the transform. Let's go to the size, and I'm going to add a keyframe, and let's type 0 0. Go few frame ahead, and I'm going to type 1.3 1.3. Now let's type 1 and 1. Now we have this simple bouncy animation. So as you can see, the size will affect the first character, the second, and the third. Now you can also add an out animation as well. So I'm going to add a keyframe here, go few frame ahead, 1.3 1.3, and now let's go few frame ahead, 0 and 0. So now we have this animation. Now I'm going to go to the simple tools, and I'm going to add a motion blur, and in modifier guys, I'm going to go to the spline, check this template, select all the keyframe, make them smooth. Now guys, you can also do one more thing, is to add a keyframe in bevel value. So if you notice guys, when I increase the X rotation, you can see nothing is happened to our text. So these value only affect your text when you add a keyframe. So for example, if I add a keyframe here and change the rotation, you can see now it is affecting the text. But when I remove the keyframe, increase its slider, you can see it won't affect your text. So you have to add a keyframe and then you have to change the value. So now guys, I'm going to animate the Z rotation. So let's add a keyframe here. Now let's go to the spline and uncheck these, select the Z rotation keyframe, and now I'm going to make them reverse. Now guys, you will get this type of text animation. So you can see it rotate and it gets straight. And now let's animate the out animation as well. So I'm going to add a keyframe in Z rotation, and I'm going to change its position to this as well. So now we have this animation and we have this out animation. Now you can go to the spline, check all the keyframes, select all the keyframe, make them smooth. So that's how I create this animation using the modifier. Now guys, I'm going to show you another example. So for example, if you want to get this bouncy text effect, then you can also achieve this text effect. So let's duplicate this text effect and let's go to the fusion page and let's click here. It will remove the keyframe and now we don't have any animation. Now I'm going to type bouncy and let's change its color to more like yellow. Now guys, let's right click here and select the follower. Now let's go to the modifier and I'm going to add 1.3 delay, and I'm going to select my transform and let's animate the size. So first let's type 0, now 1.3, 1.3, 1, 1. Now let's add an out animation as well. So add keyframe 1.3, 1.3, and then 0, 0. So now we have this bouncy animation, simple. So guys, let's go to this spline, check these, select, make them smooth, and in shape box I'm going to lower their duration. Let's check this again, go to the keyframe, and I'm going to select these keyframe and let's place them right here. So we have the smooth out animation as well. Now guys, to achieve the bouncy effect appear from this area, you have to add a keyframe in pivot X, and then we will have this path 1 options. Now you can change its rotation to Z, and now when I play this video you can see we have this bouncy animation. So that's how we created that bouncy animation. And now guys, if we go to the timeline number 1, if you want to get this type of bouncy out animation, then you will have to go to the fusion page, and now select the template, go to the modifier, and in path guys you can just add a keyframe here, and you can rotate Z rotation like this. Let's remove the keyframe, and now we have this out animation as well. Now I'm going to select the tools, go to the settings, and I'm going to increase the quality in motion blur and decrease the shutter angle as well like this. Now guys, we have this animation. So that's how I created that animation. Now if I go to timeline number 1, you can see we have this simple bouncy animation appearing from this area and disappearing from this area as well. So for this animation I just animate the x-axis. So let's go to the timeline number 3 in fusion page, select the template, in modifier path I'm going to type 0, 0, and let's remove all the keyframe. Now I'm going to change the X rotation. Now you can see guys, we have this animation. So that's how I created that animation. Now guys, if we go to timeline number 1, you can see timeline number 2, you can see we have this text animation as well. So to get this animation you have to duplicate your text, and now I'm going to change this to text effect, and let's change its color to this. And now let's go to the fusion page, select the template, go to the modifier, in transform, go to the path, and let's reset these value. So we will get this smooth animation. Now for this animation guys, let's go to the modifier, let's go to the follower, remove this keyframe, and let's remove these keyframe as well. Now guys, I only remove the keyframe of size X. Now you will get this animation if you remove the size X keyframe. Now guys, we have to go to the set keyframe in pivot X. In path I'm going to change this to -30, 34, and 7.9. Now if I play this video guys, you can see we have this amazing text animation. So that's how I created that animation. So you can copy these value as well. Now guys, in forward I'm going to, so if I go to the edit page, go to timeline number 1, you can see I have the hue animation as well. So let's go to the timeline number 3, and this is our main text. So I'm going to change to bold, and in Fusion Paint guys, I'm going to add a color corrector before the glow, and I'm going to set a keyframe in hue value. Let's go few frame ahead, and I'm going to increase the hue position. Now let's go to the spline, uncheck this template, so we have the only hue keyframes, make them smooth, and I'm going to set them to loop. So now if I play this video guys, you can see we have this amazing text effect hue animation. Now guys, let's go to the edit page, and I'm going to show you other examples as well. So let's move these timeline, let's add a new one, and I have this animation. So for this animation guys, I only animate my transform. So in transform I only animate the Y position. So as you can see, I have this animation, so I only animate the Y position. So as you can see, the position Y is now only changing in center. Now to get this look, you have to change the font style to this, change the color to this value. Now you have to go to the shading, and then you will have to copy this shade. Then you will have this text effect. Now I only add in 5 an outline of this text effect, and now you have this result. So now let's go to the edit page, and in Power Bin let's go to the text. So if you don't have a Power Bin, then you have to enable it from here. Go to the view and check show Power Bin, and you can also save these texts in Power Bin as well. So for example, I have created this text effect. I can now drag this and drop this in here. I can now change its name to hello 2. Now if I create new timeline, drag this here. So as you can see guys, you can reuse these text in your future project as well. Now guys, let's go to the Power Bin, and in text guys, I also have several examples as well. So I'm going to drag these examples, and then I will show you one by one how I created these examples. Now let's select these, go to the edit and select delete gaps. It will delete all the gap. Now guys, you know how to create this text effect, this one, and for this text effect guys, let's just play this right here. And for this text effect guys, I only add an outline and animate my hue like we did in this text effect. Now for this text effect guys, I'm going to select this, go to the fusion and select this, go to the modifier, and I just animate the Y position, and that's it. You don't need to add anything extra. You have to animate the Y size in transform, in modifier, and then you will get this result. Now this is this version number 2 of our hue animation text. So for this text guys, I just change the modifier path X rotation. So you can change its rotation. You can play this right here. Now it appears from above, and if I come to this point, change the rotation, you can see it will now appear from the bottom. So you can play around with these rotation guys, and you will get different type of text result. So for example, if I change the Y rotation and Z rotation as well, you can see we have this fast animation, and if I lower my Z rotation, you can see we have this smooth animation. So you can play around with these rotation. Now guys, in the final we have these two text effects. So I'm going to delete these text effect, and now let's focus on these two text effect. So we have text show on screen one by one, and we have this haha text effect. So guys, for this text effect we have to duplicate this text effect. Now guys, let's go to the Fusion page, select the template, remove this keyframe. Now I'm going to right click on my type text, and I'm going to select character level styling. Now we have this modifier tab turned on. Now let's go to the modifier tab, and now guys, I'm going to right click on my preview screen, and in the option guys, you can enable or disable this checker underline, and you can also show guides. So we have this guide. Now let's go back to tools, and I'm going to set my V anchor to top, and I'm going to set my H anchor to left. Now I'm going to play this right here, and now let's type my name is Now guys, we have this text effect. Now let's go to the modify tab, and you can select a character. So for example, I can select my character from previous screen. You can change only its size, its color, and its font style as well. Now guys, if I select my name, now you can see we have the transform of this particular Fazan with my name, and I have this shading, and I have these settings as well. So we have this individual text plus settings for individual text. So you can increase the size, you can change its tracking as well, and you can change its font style as well. So I'm going to change this to white, maybe this color. Now I'm going to select my ease, and I'm going to change this to white. Now let's change its font as well. And now we have finally the edit. So I'm going to change its color to this red, and I'm going to increase the size, and let's place this text right here. Now guys, you can also select the text, go to the shading, and you can add a shading as well. So I can now enable the shading. Let's go to the position, change this right here. Let's select the font of the name, enable the shading, and I can add an outline. Let's change the outline color. To white, and let's decrease the thickness, and let's select the first one. Now guys, you can also decrease this to 0%, and now we have this outline text effect. So if I go to the 2, and let's go to the properties, I can now change the outline, and I can change the color to this color. And now let's go to the edit page, and you can see we have this text. Now all you have to do is just animate its right on. So we have to come to the first frame, add a keyframe, set the end to 0, and now let's go few frames ahead. I can say my name is Fizan Amjad. I love. Now let's go to the keyframe, and I'm going to come to this point, and let's select all the keyframe and place them right here. Now let's go to the edit page and make them smooth. Now guys, if you want a pop-up text, then you have to change the keyframe to step out or step in. So I'm going to change the step out. Now you can see my name is Fizan Amjad, I love to edit. So that's how I create that animation. Now if I go to the edit page, go to the timeline number 5, you can see I have this text show on screen one by one. So that's how I create the animation. Now guys, for this animation guys, at the end I add a light rays effect, and in fusion page I just animate its position in transform of y axis. I change the center position of y, add a motion blur, and now we have this animation. So guys, this is how you can create this animation. And now in the final guys, I'm going to add a text plus. And now let's go to the fusion page, and if you right click here guys, you can see we have some other options as well. So for example, you can select the time code, and if I play this video, you can see we have this timer on. So duration of this text is 4 seconds. So you can add a timer as well if you want to. So let's come to this point. You can also increase the start offset or decrease the start offset as well. So let's reset this, and now let's go to the tools, and you can also, if you want to add only seconds, then you can also do that. So now I have only the second. Now let's change this to 1, and now we have this second. Or if you want to add only the second count, then you can also do that. So now we have 1 second, 2, 3. So now let's remove the keyframe. Let's reset this value as well. Now if I right click here, go to the set timer, you can see you can set a timer as well. So let's go to the modifier. You can change the minute, you can change the second as well. So you can animate this position as well. So if I click here, go few frames ahead, I can now animate this second. So as you can see, we have this second animation. So guys, this is how you can use the modifier in fusion page. Now guys, if you want to edit any type of video in DaVinci Resolve, then you can do that. So I have this example. So for the sound effect, I use the website called Mixkit, and you can search for sound effect and you can download some free sound in here. Now guys, let's move on to another example. So now guys, you can also edit complex video in DaVinci Resolve. So if I play this video, you can see we have this animation. Now this is the cutout from the video. So I screenshot my video. So as you can see, these are 18 screenshot, and I use this website called remove bg, and I remove my picture background one by one, and then I make a sequence in DaVinci Resolve. So you can download this picture from here, and it will automatically remove your background. So for this particular video, I remove frame by frame background from these 18 screenshot, and I just drop them into DaVinci Resolve, and now we have this sequence. As you can see, I'm jumping from here to here. Now guys, to creating this scene, I create this screen from scratch in DaVinci Resolve. So I'm going to show you how I created. So let's open this in timeline, and now as you can see, first I'm going to disable some layer, And now as you can see, this is our background. And now we have this moon. I set the moon to add a light rays effect as well, and I set the moon to screen. Now I animate my subject in edit page from this position to this. Let's enable the transform, and now you can see I animate my position. This is the position. So as you can see, I animate my position. If I select this, you can see I animate my position, and I add a building, and then I add these two buildings as well. Now if you go to the color page, let's hide this, hide the timeline. Now if I select my subject, you can see I color grade my subject as well. So this is before and this is after. Now I also color grade these building as well. So this is before and this is after. I just mask out the upper area and I lower their gain of the lower area. As you can see, this is lower area, so I lowered the gain, and for this building I did exactly that same thing. Now if we go to the edit page guys, and in the final guys, I add light rays effect, add a camera shake, and add a fast noise effect, and I set the global blend to 0.294. So that's why we have this smoke animation. Now I have created the second version of this as well. So if I come to this timeline, let's go to the fusion page and let's enable the clip. Let's go to the compound clip, and now let's go to the clip, and I'm going to select this clip. As you can see, I add a transform animation. Now guys, if I play this example, now let's go to the fusion page, and I'm going to select this clip. Now as you can see, I animate myself. I animate the position of this character using the transform, and in settings in transform I add a motion blur. Now let's go to the edit page, and I'm going to disable these layers. So first we have this layer. I add a box blur. First let me just select this, and now I add a box blur, and now we have the second, which is a building. So let's go to the color page, and I just mask out this area. Let's just enable the power window, and I mask out this area, and I lower their gain, their gamma, the lift, and the offset. Then we have the shadow, and I add an outside of this node, and I change the color to this value. So we have this shine effect, and I did this thing to this building as well, and I add myself behind these buildings. So in the end guys, I add an adjustment layer, and I add a fast noise effect, and change its opacity to 1, and change the compose type to soft light, and you can change these settings as well if you want to. Now let's go to the main timeline, and as you can see, we have this final result, and in the final result I add a light rays effect. You can copy these settings as well if you want to. I add a glow effect, and I add a fake camera shake. And now guys, if I select this compound clip, go to the fusion page, select this character, you can see I lower its gain and lower its offset and the lift to match with the background. So you have to match with the shadow of your background, enable to merge your character with the background. So now it's look great, but when I turn the color grading off, you can see it looks so fake. Now if I go to the edit page, go to the main timeline, go to the color page, you can see, let's hide this clip and let's drag this right here. Now guys, in this node I color grade my footage. So in first node I change the gain to this value and gamma to this value, and I add this color warper. Now guys, in the second node I change the ATTR wheels of dark. Now guys, in the final node I just change my contrast, change my tint and the temperature, and in HDR guys I change the light. Now this is the final result. Now guys, you can edit any type of video in DaVinci Resolve. The only thing is stopping you is your imagination.